of this gold status Grand Prix tournament. Now we've got time for a prize to come out into the grandstands. Where are we going with the prize? Where are we going? Upstairs? Stand up and give us a wave. Look out, everybody. Here comes the t-shirt cannon. That is nuts. That is nuts. I hope you're a paying member of the public, sir. Congratulations. We've got some more prizes coming your way, courtesy of our sponsors, including Extreme and One Pure. So if you'd like some prizes, look out here on the bottles down at the front row.
Hyun getting ready for the men's singles final. Obviously this a little earlier, just going through his paces, making sure he's fit and proper for his match coming up against Qiao. That's coming up next here at the New Zealand Open.
It is time for the next match, the next final here at the Sky City New Zealand Badminton Open. It is the men's singles final. Our umpire is Richard Bramley from New Zealand. Your service judge, Greg Pilvin, Australia.
Well, they are coming out, I promise you.
Please welcome our finalists in the men's singles. First, he is a former world #1, a two-time Olympic Games semi-finalist, the #3 seed from Korea, Hyun. Our next finalist is a 24-year-old who has been in great form this week from China. Please welcome Qiao.
Well, you can even tell just from the announcements, you know, Hyun gets the two Olympic semi-finals, the world #1, and Qiao just gets been in good form this week, and it, you know, that gives you an idea of the caliber of player that Qiao up against. He played really well yesterday, we saw that, but Hyun seems to just defy the odds really in terms of his age. 35, still going strong.
Yeah, the guy's an absolute legend of the game. He's been, as you heard in the announcement, to 2 Olympic semi-finals, and he's had the world #1 spot before. And Obviously, Qiao played extremely well against former world number 4 Buntak Ponsana yesterday in the semi-final, but I think his task is even more difficult today.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just that Lee Hyun-il won yesterday, it was the manner of that win as well, because, you know, to come through, okay, against the number 1 seed, I wouldn't call it a huge shock, even though Shu obviously was number 1, but to beat 21-6 in that second game, that was emphatic.
Yeah, it's just an indication of Lee Hyun-il's skills and tactics as well. Like, Su is more of a runner who doesn't have that many weapons, but Lee Hyun-il just didn't give him a chance. There was no way that Su could actually hurt him.
Well, Lee Hyun-il out of retirement again, and world ranking right now of 22. But you know, since coming out of retirement, it's been as if, you know, he's still 25. Never mind 35. He's winning tournaments. He helped Korea to win the Asian Games team gold as well. And that obviously was on home soil. One of the reasons why he came out of retirement, because obviously he called it an 8 after the Olympics twice. And as you can see yesterday, what a performance, 34 minutes. Obviously against Hwang Yuxiang, it took a little longer against a classy player, an hour and 4 minutes. But that apart, he's obviously found things pretty straightforward. So Lee Hyun-il, we know all about him. Know a little less about Qiao Bin. It's kind of like a second chance for him, back in the international fold after 14, 15 months out, which is why his world ranking is as high as it is at 288. But as you can see, this year he's been in a tournament, international tournament, for the first time in 15 months, and he won it, the China International Challenge. So he has won this year. But Lee Hyun-il is looking for win number 3 of 2015. Here's Qiao Bin's route to the final. Buntak Ponsana, another of the players in the veteran status he beat yesterday. Also had to come through against Zulkifli in 3 games, the Malaysian. So he's had 2 very long matches. He seems a very strong, fit player. He's obviously had a few injury problems. But he looks yesterday very strong, didn't he?
Yeah, the way he was able to power through the third set against Buntak Ponsana yesterday afternoon was particularly impressive. He's strong, he's quick, typically like a Chinese men's singles player, but he's very dangerous from the back line as well.
Good support for Lee Hyun-il, and it's fair to say, I mean, you travel the world playing badminton. In Korea, he is a big star. Obviously nowadays, Lee Young-dae's the number 1 pin-up boy of badminton, but this guy here, he's right up there, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's with a couple of Olympic semi-finals and a former world number 1, especially with a sport like badminton, as big as it is in Korea. I mean, the guy is a legend of the game.
And obviously what he did at the Asian Games as well. You know, coming, you know, it's like a fairy tale story. You know, come out of retirement, help the team out, take us all the way through to gold medal on home soil. You kind of think, well, why not retire again there? But obviously he still feels he's playing very well.
Yeah, I think the results certainly aren't going to argue against that. Perfect script for him last week at the Asian Games, really.
Well, can he do it here again, Lee Hyun-il? Can he defy the age gap here?
On my right, Lee Hyun-il, Korea. On my left, Qiao Bin, China. Lee Hyun-il to serve, level, play.
There's a decade between them. But what will the gap be out on the court? Lee Hyun-il up against Qiao Bin in the men's singles final. Just long for Qiao Bin.
1, love.
And I know it's the first one, but there is a sense of grandiousness about Lee Hyun-il, isn't there, when he's on court? kind of struts his stuff, doesn't he?
He really does, yeah. It just looks like he's in complete control all the time. But then I think we can expect more of that from Qiao to start like he did yesterday.
All.
Come out fast and aggressive with his attacks from the back of the court.
Two, one.
Very confident start. And that's what we saw yesterday against Buntong Pontano, is that here's a guy that's been out of the international fold for a while. This is a really big opportunity for him here. You'd expect to see some nerves, but he doesn't. He just seems up for it.
Yes, obviously a big part of his game, his attacking shots from the back line, and he is dangerous. He's got variety back there. He's got power. And he's certainly not afraid to use it.
It's over. 2, 3.
Who are they supporting?
You tell me, mate. You tell me. Cross-court winner this time from Qiao.
4, 2.
In these first 6 points, we've seen some clear indications that he wants to attack with that shot, cross-court slice. Right on the line from Hyun.
It's over. 3, 4. So it's over. 5, 3.
Snatched a couple of those, hasn't he, Lee? He doesn't do anything in a hurry,
6,
does he? He just takes
3.
it in his stride, but that's missing the mark there. Oh, that was close. Giving it.
So it's over. 4, 6.
Qiao just sensing the opportunity there and speeding up his footwork to the back of the court.
It's over. 5-7.
When you look at Lee Hyun, well, we know he's 35, but he doesn't look it physically, does he? I mean, he says he trains in the morning, trains in the afternoon. He says, you wouldn't believe how hard I train. I don't drink, don't smoke. He's still very much dedicated to the game, which is why he's able to play like he is at 35. I'm trying to look through the record books to see if there's been an older winner of a tournament at this level than 35. I'm sure there must be somewhere in the annals of the history of badminton, but can't think of anyone in really recent history at least. Hyun has won, of course, this season in the Swiss Open alongside Qiao at the age of 35. So obviously the same age that Lee Hyun is. It doesn't happen too often. I mean, the last two winners we've seen, obviously in the mixed doubles, we had a 17 and an 18-year-old. In the women's singles, we've had a 17-year-old. He's old enough to be all their father.
6.
That's half his age. Yeah, it's particularly impressive in men's singles as well, with the physicality is a lot higher.
Looked as if it could be long, but it was given in.
Chelvin.
Oh, we're going to get a look at the replay. It was in.
Yeah, right on the line.
It was on the line. Good call.
Yeah, Lee Hyun just working his way into this match now. Starting to find his feeling.
It's over. 8 all.
Pickings there
Six
for
over.
Lee Hyun.
9-8. Service fault called.
Well,
Service over.
cheap point on his serve last time and now a fault called by our service judge, Sydney Gallos, or I should say Greg Pilvin.
Leland. Ask me first. Thank you. 2.
So just serving
Play.
too high, but you don't often see it called, do you? If you actually, obviously the service judge is there looking at that all the time.
Yeah, especially not in men's singles. Like you see it more in the men's doubles and the mixed doubles. When people are trying to really push the boundaries and play the best serve possible, but
It's over.
Coach
10,
Ji-Hyun Ma.
9. Fault. 11-9. End of all.
Well, it's been a pretty even affair so far, but Lee Hyun does have the advantage at the break, 11-9, thanks to this winner just now. Well, not much to tell a guy, is there, who's been round the block a few times. Keep it up.
Yeah, you said it, Richard. He's obviously knows his way around a badminton court, but it is always nice to have someone on the back of your court in that situation, even if obviously he knows what he's doing.
Because sometimes things can go wrong, and then
Exactly.
you need another pair of eyes, really, don't you? But
yeah, and it's good just to have an external perspective, and maybe just to feel that
20 seconds.
you've got someone else that you can talk to and run some ideas off if you need to.
Thank you. Qiao. 11-9. Play.
Just wide from Qiao.
12-9.
you just noticed, don't you? He's very. Lee Hyun just seems very composed, doesn't he? Turning on the style here.
13.
Yeah, it's one of his
9.
real signature qualities is his control over his defense. Look how tight that is. Qiao have to come all the way from the back line to retrieve that one. And he couldn't do it.
You know, he retired twice. He retired after the 2008 Olympics. He retired after the 2012 Olympics.
Play.
He carried on training through that time, so obviously in the back of his mind there must have been this thing of still coming back. But do you think the reason why he's able to perform at this age so long is that competitively, at least, he took some time out?
Quite possibly, yeah. It would have been a good refresher for him, and it just maybe take some time away from the game and just enjoy, I guess, a more normal life, everyday life. Great shot there from Qiao. Maybe provided him with some fresh motivation. You've got to have to turn up for training every morning.
10.
And think about
13.
everything that's going on a badminton court. You can get a fresh perspective and just weigh up your options.
I mean, because he's come back, you know, Asian Games gold. He's ended 2014 by winning a challenge tournament as well in Malaysia. Then he started the year by winning back-to-back the Thailand International and the Malaysian Masters as well. That was 3 wins in a row. You know, 4 wins in total in 2014, plus the Asian Games as well. I mean, he's almost in a purple patch, or getting to where he was when he was world #1. Obviously, the standard of tournaments maybe aren't quite where he was playing against the opposition back in the day when he was #1, but
Perfect again. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he goes when he starts playing the Super
14.
Series as well.
10.
yeah, he has played a couple this year, Malaysian Open, Singapore Open, and first time he's been playing at that level in 3 years, and yeah, so far he hasn't been able to make them up, but even the way he's playing here this week, there's nothing to suggest why he wouldn't be able to step it up again.
Wide of the mark there from Qiao.
15-10.
But again, that's what he'll do. Lee Hyun, he'll make you play closer and closer and closer to the line, and then eventually force the error. He's just in control the entire time.
It's his anticipation as well, isn't it? That's why he's able to, that seems not move around so fast.
Yeah, there's anticipation and also his shot quality. He knows when he plays a good shot here that maybe he can cut out one corner so the shot will only come back
A reminder,
possibly one of 3 corners instead of all 4.
And the officials, no flash
But his balance is absolutely sublime. You never see him off balance at all. He just seems to be able to create time for himself. And like all the good players do, they do make it look easy.
Oh, perfect. Perfect, Qiao Bin.
It's over.
I mean, he knew what he was up against here, Qiao Bin, didn't he? I mean, it's not like it's an unknown
16.
quantity, but still.
11.
No, I'm guessing there's plenty of video footage on YouTube of Lee Hyun for him to do his video analysis with. But he, like you said, it's another thing to be able to execute a game plan.
17.
I tried a little something
11.
different there. Just obviously didn't manage to put it off, but decent idea.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to keep it varied against these top guys.
It's over. 12. 17.
Someone a little premature there.
Clever from Lee again. Realised that his forehand slice was dangerous enough that
18.
Qiao Bin could only play slow to the net. So it speeds up and increases the pressure and forces Qiao into the mistake.
Play.
Well, it's been an excellent display so far from Lee Hyun.
19. 12.
He has owned this final so far. Plenty of work still to do, though. 8 game points he's got.
20. Game point. 12.
Yeah, obviously it didn't matter that he didn't get much advice at the 11-point interval. He certainly knew what he was doing.
Yeah, Qiao's only won 3 points since the interval.
Game.
And a little bit of luck at the end of it all, but he's made his own luck
First
pretty
game
much
won by
in this final, hasn't it?
21.
The former
12.
world #1 is on the verge of yet another win. He's halfway there. He's taken the opening game by 21 points to 12. It's been convincing.
Yeah, a real
There's a
almost
shuttle on the
clinic put
floor
on
by
there.
the box. See the shuttle on the... Yeah.
The men's singles final. Welcome everyone to the Sky City New Zealand.
Yeah, a real clinic put on there by Lee Hyun in the first set, especially on the after the 11-point interval. Really not allowing Qiao Bin to get into the match.
So for Qiao Bin now, I mean, what do you do? Because you know we know his biggest weapon is the smash, isn't it? But Lee Hyun-il's aware of that, and he's not going to play to those tricks. How does he get going like that?
Upstairs, here comes the T-shirt cannon.
Yeah, I think for Qiao Bin, he needs to find a way to either firstly create opportunities where he can use his attack from the back line and give himself a chance to speed up, or put Lee Hyun off balance, maybe play some flatter counter-attacking rallies and not allow Lee Hyun to push him around the court as he has been, because he's just been in complete control and not giving Qiao Bin any opportunities to be as dangerous as he can be.
Well, he's got the experience. He says those instincts haven't left
20
him
seconds.
over the years.
20 seconds.
Well, it's been wonderful to see Lee Hyun. It's kind of like a throwback, isn't it? Getting a little taste of what used to be, but he's doing it right here and now, and he's been doing it pretty regularly over the last 6 months, ever since he...
Second game. Level. Play.
Ever since he took that Korean team to gold at the Asian Games. I mean, just to give you an idea of his longevity, he won gold with Korea in the Asian Games in 2002 as well. Important Qiao gets off to a good start in this second game.
1.
Absolutely, especially against a guy of the class of Lee Hyun. If Qiao gives him an early lead, it's going to be very, very difficult to try and peg that back.
Service over. 1 all.
Lovely angles at the net from both players. Kind of surprised when he misses one like
Service
that.
over. 2 1.
He wasn't going to miss again, was it?
Service over. 2 all.
Yeah, just lifting far too short there from Qiao.
Always amazes me, and I know that it's quite common, but it's like a coiled spring players, aren't they, at times? The way that it's all very well getting those,
3,
picking yourself up, but to get yourself
2.
back in the rhythm of a rally straight away, it's so impressive.
Yeah, it's one of the key components of being a top men's singles player. You need to be able to speed up, not only for the duration of a rally, but at certain times during the rally as well, so you can increase pressure and come with something different. It's okay for players to play in the same pace. If you play that all the time, it's just comfortable for the guy on the other side. You need to be able to slow it down, speed it up, come with some different rhythms. Just keep the variety in there.
Pretty even, obviously, at the start of the second game, but we're seeing more of those Lee Hyun skills in this second game.
All.
Yeah, having said that about Qiao being able to speed up during the rallies against a guy like Lee Hyun, he makes it extremely difficult. He's really, really good at playing what I call a large court. Make sure you have to come from the back all the way to the front. He plays right in the corners. And it makes it difficult to increase the pace. He doesn't give you the opportunity to do so. Just long.
Yeah, well left.
4-3.
Thought about playing it, but was it out? Not sure it was.
No protest from Qiao, but pretty hard for him to see from his end. Touch and go.
Listen, it's so. I mean, how many wrong calls have there been over the last week? Well, not many.
No, it's been really good.
5.
Just like
3.
that from Lee Hyun. Just that's the sort of thing you haven't seen him give to Qiao Bin. He just hasn't given any of those opportunities.
Tight net shot doesn't come off this time for Lee.
4-5. 5-all.
Crowd pleaser, wasn't it, that rally? Some great tight net shots and in the end a net cord that fell Lee's way.
5.
Yeah, terrific way to turn defense into attack with the help of a net cord, but as the Korean crowd starts to find their voice.
Well, he is Korea's most successful single start, Lee Hyun. Still going, still winning titles. Maybe another one coming up in the next minutes. Certainly with shots like that, they will.
7-5.
Yeah, his control from the back line is really sublime, isn't it? He never really hits a 100% full power smash. It's always just brought down with speed, but right next to the line.
I'm trying to find something, maybe you can help me out here, Oliver, that
5.
suggests there's a way back in this for Qiao Bin. Any clues?
I'll have to put my men's singles hat on for this one, mate. It's not my best strength, but...
No, you should point out, yeah, obviously a double specialist. Obviously one of New Zealand's best, but...
No, I mean, like I said, yeah, Qiao Bin needs to find a way that he can start to be more dangerous. This is a little bit better, but he's, especially in the front of the court, he keeps playing Lee Hyun-il's game. He's happy to play net shots close to the net. Great point from Lee Hyun-il there again, but if he can play it, bring it back into the middle, but push it a little bit further into the court. Make Lee Hyun-il hit it from around the service line, and then hope and draw him into playing some flatter lifts, and then you can take Lee Hyun-il away from the net and generate some more opportunities for him to attack through just tempting him into playing that flatter lift.
Because in the women's singles, we saw a certain fallibility about her being Qiao, didn't we? She wasn't at her best. You didn't think Lee Hyun was not going to come out here and play to his best. It was whether really Qiao Bin could to rise to that level.
Yeah.
At the moment, he hasn't got the answers, has he, to the wily old veteran?
No, not at all. I think, like I said, it's exactly how it looks with Lee Hyun in complete control, and he's got Qiao Bin doing exactly what he wants him to do. So it's about Qiao Bin trying to come out of that and turn it around, so at least he can maybe even trick Lee Hyun into playing some flatter stuff, and then he can counter. Because that's a real strength of Chinese men's singles in general. They are so quick on the counter attack, especially with a flatter rally. Oh, that's just too easy.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to do better, hasn't he, Qiao Bin here, if he's going to make a fight of this.
6.
Won the China International Challenge, lost in the first round of the China Masters. That's it in terms of international badminton for Qiao Bin since the latter end of 2013. So it's almost like he's been in international retirement as well.
6, interval.
And, well, it's a long way back from here. I think that's fair to say. Lee Hyun with a 5-point lead. 1 game already up.
Yeah, we saw what he did in the back half of the first set as well. From 11-9, he was clinical to win 21-12, so it seems like there's a big mountain to climb for Qiao Bin here.
Seconds, 20 seconds.
Well, it's a case of now or never, I think, for Qiao Bin. He's really had his work cut out so far today against Lee Hyun.
Well, now he's just got to go out all guns blazing, hasn't he? He's got to try. I mean, he's in a losing position.
Yeah, you've got to try something. You've got to change it up.
11,
come with something completely
6.
different.
Play.
Because what he's been doing so far has been covered quite comfortably. But I think that's better from Qiao Bin. Instead of trying to play too slow and too
12,
tight, give it some speed, give it into the court. Get Lee Hyun to play a flatter left that he can then attack from. Yeah, he made the mistake there, but he did get the lift.
And again, he's doing the right things there, Qiao Bin. Obviously, Lee Hyun coming up with the answers, but this is what he's got to try, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but as soon as he plays one there off the backhand side into Lee Hyun-il's backhand side, it's just wide of the court again, and it gives Lee Hyun-il the angle to open up, and from there he can see what shots are coming and cover it. Great shot that.
And he's got a mountain to climb, but
7, 13.
While you're in it, you can still win it.
Play. Over. 14.
But again, just playing soft and slow to the net, giving Lee Hyun-il time to come forward and play with pretty much any choice that he wants from there.
That's well wide, and Frustrating, very
15.
frustrating for Qiao.
7.
Yeah, unfortunately for Qiao Bin, he just hasn't been able to trouble Lee Hyun at all.
Oh dear, it's turning into one of those days now for the Chinese player.
16. 7. Qiao Bin. Play.
Oh, nice touch.
Sets over. 8. 16.
Excellent placement from the Korean,
It's over.
who's closing in on yet
17.
another win.
8.
He tried that right at the start of the match.
It's over.
Didn't work, it did this time.
9. 17.
Again, he played that shot with some success yesterday against Buntak Ponsana. That's the first or second time we've seen it this afternoon. Maybe it's a sign of just being a bit more tense today.
That's more like it.
10.
In a
17.
position like this, you can play with a bit more freedom.
Eleven. 17.
Again, something we haven't seen much in that last point from Qiao Bin, the body smash.
Sure. Oh, but not taken. A little bit of a run here from Qiao Bin. It's his best spell in the match. It's only 4 points in a row, but it's
12.
only faint
17.
hope, but some hope at least.
Yeah, when momentum changes, you've seen stranger things happen. But I think Lee Hyun is too classy for that.
Well, the crowd are trying to get behind him. They want to see more of this.
13.
That was a well-worked point there from
17.
Qiao Bin. Just opting to work Lee Hyun around the back of the court.
Players.
And he had some success
Ready.
doing it.
Play.
And that ends the run.
Sets over.
Just long for
18.
Qiao Bin.
13.
When you have the lead that Lee Hyun has. It just seems so stress-free, doesn't it, from the Korean? Right on the line. Just a shame he couldn't play with this freedom earlier on the match. I know that's
14.
hard to do, but it's a pity from
18.
a
that's
competition point of view.
That's a strange thing. He scored 2 or 3 points in the first half a dozen with that slice in the first set, and then haven't really seen it since.
Well gobbled up by Lee Hyun. 2 more points.
Set's over. 19-14.
Well, match points have arrived, and
20.
there's a fair few
Match
of them as
point.
well for Lee Hyun.
14.
It's been a very impressive performance from the Korean. Much enjoyed by his fans as well. He just keeps turning back the clock, doesn't he? Lee Hyun does it again. Another win for Korea's most successful single start. And a comprehensive win at the New Zealand Open it is.
Match won by Lee Hyun-il, 21-12, 21-14.
Beating a player a decade his junior, and in 21-12, 21-14. It's an impressive scoreline, isn't it?
Yeah, another comprehensive result in the finals this afternoon. It was all too easy for Lee Hyun.
Presentations will take place.
Just looked in control throughout the entire match, and again just never let Qiao use any of his weapons that he does have, and we know that he has from the back of the court. He showed us yesterday.
They'll be available in the autograph zone, just near the entrance to the main floor.
It's still been a good week for Qiao Bin, but he certainly met his match, didn't he, Lee Hyun-il? You never get tired of winning, even if I make it international victory number 20. You don't get sick of it, do you? So no upset in the men's singles. Lee Hyun-il safely and rather convincingly seeing off his challenge from China's Qiao Bin.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the presentation for the men's singles final at the Sky City New Zealand Open. Presenters, Mr. Li Wei, President, New Zealand Chinese Sports Association. Rianne Wong, Secretary General, New Zealand Chinese Sports Association. Would you please acknowledge runner-up in the men's singles final from China, Qiao Bin. And your winner of the men's singles final at the Sky City New Zealand Open from Korea, Lee Hyun-il.
Or another one for the mantelpiece. Must have to have another room in his house for all the trophies and medals he's won.
The finalists in the men's singles.
excellent performance, wasn't it, from Lee Hyun. He just doesn't seem to get old, does he? Let's hear what he makes of it all.
Lee, right from the outset of this match, you looked like you were in control. Was that the case?
네가 경기하면서 네가 선수를 읽고 다 컨트롤했다고 하는데 그게 맞냐고 물어보는.
네, 일단 이제 초반에 파악하는데 조금 시간이 걸리긴 했는데 이제 스타일이 파악이 된 다음부터는 조금 수월하게 이렇게 컨트롤 해가면서 조절하면서 경기를 한 것 같아요.
To begin with, it's hard to analyze my opponent, but since I know what kind of star he is, he's easy to play against him.
How encouraging is it to come back this time and actually come out and win the tournament after what happened last year?
작년에 다쳐가지고 경기를 못했는데 이번에 와서 경기를 이렇게 잘해서 어떻게 생각하냐고.
네, 이제 작년에 아쉽게 부상으로 이제 기권을 하게 돼가지고 이번에 올 때 조금 이제 한국에서 준비도 좀 하고 이렇게 부상 없이 컨디션을 잘 만들어서 왔는데 또 이렇게 좋은 결과까지 나서 기분이 좋습니다.
Last year he is injured, there's a couple muscles, but this year he wants to prepare, training well, and he just prepared for winning this tournament. So what he did is very good.
And just a little bonus too, lots of support today, lots of Korean fans.
한국 이번 오늘은 한국 응원단이 너무 많아서 어떻게 됐냐고. 너무
일단 항상 경기할 때마다 와서 응원해 주셔가지고 너무 힘이 되고요. 이렇게 맨날 환대해 주시고 해서 더 힘을 내서 경기를 뛴 것 같아요.
Every single time he go tournaments, lots of Korean supporters over there, so he's happy and he's just encouraged for himself.
Congratulations, Lee, a New Zealand Badminton Open champion.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, another win, another excellent week for Lee Hyun. You just wonder, I mean, look at the way he played today. Maybe a few more years left in him yet. Just there's an air of superiority about him when he walks on court, and it was justified, wasn't it, given the way he played?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you get that kind of self-confidence from a couple of Olympic semi-finals and being world number one. A fantastic display from him today.
Yeah, Qiao really just couldn't find a way of using his weapons.
Fantastic net play from both players as well. Nothing seems to rattle, you know.
Straight games win for Lee Hyun, and the third of our 5 finals has been completed. It's going to be women's doubles that's our next offering here. Well, while the dancing girls carry on, it's a chance to see what else is on offer. So as I say, women's doubles, followed by the men's doubles.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Sky City Cheergirls. Entertaining here at the Sky City New Zealand Badminton Open. And we are not far away from our next final. It'll be the women's doubles coming up very soon. Now look out upstairs, there are some shuttles being put into the crowd. If you collect one of those shuttles, see the team hitting the shuttles for your prize. So look out for the shuttles being hit into the crowd. If you collect a shuttle, go and see our team hitting the shuttles And you'll collect the prize. Nice and friendly. No leaving your seat. Stay in your seat. Thank you.
I recognise one of the guys in there. Was that a lot of fun, Oliver? Did you have a nice time up there? Looked some good views.
Yeah, it was a great way to see Auckland City over the top of Rangitoto Island and over Waiheke Island also. It was, yeah, fantastic from Auckland seaplanes to do that.
Doubles final at the Sky City New Zealand
Lovely way to
Badminton
see,
Open.
Auckland, but as you can hear
Your
the
umpire, Susan Taylor,
umpires coming out.
Australia. Service judge, Chaipon Tika Takul from Thailand.
Just waiting for the players now for the women's doubles.
This is a final played between two seeded combinations. Number 3 seed from Japan, Yuki of Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota. And the number 4 seeds from China, Jia Huan and Zhong Zhanjin.
Well, obviously, share a chance to maybe pick up a second title here. Obviously, having come through already in the mixed doubles earlier on today.